Last time on Heartache 101, I got involved in other character situations and didn't really worry much about the competition with Mickey. I actually managed to get Riho to not despise me so much, and I really got along well with her sister, so that means good things, I guess. I also found out about Akari's depression and get some more details about it, and I met her extremely different friend, Hinami. Another thing that happened was I mentioned a second anonymous note. Will I find out who's writing these to me or even get any more? No! Despite how curious I am, I didn't do the right things in the game to get the rest of them. Am I going to fix Akari? Probably not. Am I actually going to get with Shihoko? The possibility is still there. The first thing that happened after my last conversation with Akari was encountering Riho on the roof. She was looking for her sister who was hidden because of the crowd surrounding her. I helped Riho take notice of Shihoko. She's unable to finish what she wanted to say to me, but from what I can piece together, Shihoko's popularity still bothers her. Shihoko noticed us and we had a short conversation before all three of us left. I later found Riho in the library. She mentions how Mickey isn't really doing the work like she's supposed to. So I guess she was lying after all. I offered to help her with the whole Mickey not helping situation, and she accepted my offer. The next day, Mickey is actually helping Riho with the assignment, so it all somewhat worked out in the end. I later meet with Akari again and ask her about plastering windows in the mirrors. According to Akari, she saw the ghost in the mirror, which is why the mirrors got plastered. Now he just sits in one of her chairs. After that, I decided to ask about the dresser, and it seems that she really doesn't want to talk about it. The next time I meet her, I try to ask her about the dresser situation. Then I said the wrong thing and she left. I would see her again in the hallway later with Hinami. Now we finally get some details on why Hinami is pretty much never at school. For some reason, her father and brothers always drag her along on trips around the world. Apparently, they only drag her along because they don't trust her alone. That doesn't really surprise me at all. She then goes on about how her brothers are way too overprotective of her. Her brothers can get really violent, apparently. After that's out of the way, I ask a question that obviously needed to be asked. Is the staff okay with this? Yeah, the staff is actually okay with it, mainly because her father is good friends with the principal. I don't think the teachers will mind either, since most of the time, they don't even remember her name. I later met with Hinami outside, and she tells me more details of her father's trips. She also tells me about one of the times her brothers were being too overprotective. One guy gave her a compliment, and a second later her brothers started to fight. I said that her family was crazy, and she didn't like that, even though it's the truth. Okay, so she's a little sensitive about it, I get that, but the overprotectiveness of her brothers doesn't end there. I saw her in the hallway later that day, and a random student I don't know bumped into her. The second he noticed who he bumped into, he tried to run away, and Hinami decided to chase after him. Another random student I don't know tells me exactly why the guy was running away. It's her brothers. They'll beat the crap out of any guy that tries to get close to Hinami, it seems. They've even sent some of them to the hospital. Of course, they technically didn't do anything wrong, but anyways, now I know that I should be terrified. A few days later, I get back to worrying about the competition. Mickey and Keika inform me that Masashi, a popular guy that Mickey has a crush on, broke up with his girlfriend. They say it means my defeat, but I can win this. They ask me about my situation, and I tell them what they don't know can't hurt them. I soon find out about Mickey's situation with partnering with Riho on that one assignment. They somehow finished it on time. Later that day, I find Akari again. She's making those motions with her hands again. And this time, I actually ask her what the heck she is even doing. It turns out she was pretending to play a cello. She's pretending because she's not allowed to bring the cello outside. She claims that she's practicing and not pretending, but I don't believe that. She randomly tries to sing a note, and being the nice guy I am, I correct her. Then she plays a song on her cello. What a great performance! It's so good! It's almost like he never had an instrument! And then we go to our classes afterward. Later in the day when I'm outside, a couple guys from my class run past me, and that can only mean one thing. Hinami's around. Not long after she comes up to me, I run off. I mean, I need to get away for a reason. Because her brothers that were only mentioned totally exist and never died or anything. Unfortunately, running doesn't work. Hanami caught up to me. We have some conversation, blah blah, stuff happens. Then we leave. I would soon meet up with Shihoko and Riho again. However, Riho seemed a bit strange this time. They were talking about me before I came up to them, and Riho immediately took off soon after I walked up to them. Seems she's taken an interest in my relationship with her sister. And I don't really care. Later that day, more stuff happens. We get some more details about Keika's crappy boyfriend. It seems that he has a gambling habit. More things happen, like even more details about his gambling habit. I spend an afternoon with Akari and Hanami. And lastly, it seems that Shihoko is my girlfriend now. Seems like it all worked out in the end somehow. I won the competition and got to be with Shihoko. Mickey eventually found a boyfriend and we saw less of each other as the days went by. Things were fine, but they wouldn't last. Despite how real the game said our love was. That's all for now. Anyways, if you liked what you saw, subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button and leave a comment. If you don't like the video, it should be obvious what your options are by this point. Next time, I will give details on my second try and then wrap everything up. Mickey and Keika inform me that Mickey and Keika inform me about... Mickey and Keika inform me that... And this time I ask Leah... What?